Hey, gang, the BetPark Sportsbook app, the only app that I recommend, they cater to the real sports fans of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Ohio with the best-in-class customer service. Odds and bets and slots and games all right in the palm of your hand. Believe it or not, pro football training camps across the country opening in 2 weeks. I don't like hearing that because that says that summer will soon wind down. Yikes. Now is the perfect time to make those pro football futures bets on the BetParks Sportsbook app. Bet now on how many wins your favorite pro football team will have. Bet on who will win it all in pro football this year. And here are the top three favorites. Wow, a $50 wager on KC pays $300. A $50 wager on Philly, $350. A $50 wager on Buffalo pays $450. We're already thinking in these terms. Bet pro football futures right now. Join me. Download the BetParks Casino and Sportsbook app. New customers make a winning bet of $10, get $125 in bonus. BetParks, the official betting operator of the PGA Tour as well. So a lot of good stuff. You got to be 21 and in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Ohio. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Every day for our YouTube conversation of the Smerconish.com headlines, I get to select, actually, the boys over at Creative Outfit get to do the artwork, but I come up with just an idea.
Right. You come up with a notion, right, and then they put it into actual practice.
They give it some magic, a little secret sauce.
Right.
So my idea today was, and we ran with this, to have a photograph of a particular individual and then little play on his name, Hughes He.
Hughes He.
Hughes He.
I don't know who he is.
Because his first name is spelled H-U-W. His name is Hugh Edwards. That's who he is.
That's who he is. We shouldn't be joking about it, though, given the severity of the. Come on.
Well, it's not criminal.
Well,
it's not criminal.
We don't think it is criminal.
That's what they say.
That's what it, because if you're over age, then it's not criminal.
The Brits have a big scandal on their hands. Yes, Wimbledon might be playing itself out right now outside of London, but instead all eyes have been on the tabloids for the last 5 days because they were awaiting the reveal of who is the media personality now embroiled. Who is he? Embroiled in this scandal. He is arguably their best known presenter. Now, if I say he is their Walter Cronkite, you're going to say, Michael, you're showing your age. Like, Hugh is Walter Cronkite. But I don't think that today we have someone at the stature of the hold that Cronkite held on the nation in his era.
It's more splintered. So you would have to say who is the statesman of each network per se. So maybe in the regular television, it would be whoever does the 6:30 news. So it would be like Lester Holt. Maybe on CNN, it would be like, who do you get to anchor at the most important times? It would be.
Well, please don't mention Wolf in the context of this story.
No, but you have to. You have to because you have to because that's the seriousness with which this man was taken.
You're reminding me of a story that I've told before, and I will tell it again. But I'm not gonna use the identity. If you remember, you remember, and if you don't, you don't.
Wow. Okay.
But I was at a CNN gathering with one of their better known anchors who told a very funny story about having been out for drinks with David Muir from ABC. Mm-hmm. And all throughout they were having a drink in a very public place, and all throughout their being together, people from the public were just walking by and they were greeting, even though they didn't know, but they were greeting the CNN host because they recognized the CNN host. And no one, as this person told it, in a very funny way, not in a vindictive or mean way, but no one stopped to recognize David Muir.
You're kidding me.
No.
That is shocking
to me.
And
yet, the point of the story, and in a self-deprecating manner, this CNN host acknowledged David Muir has, exponentially
much bigger listening or watching or
theoretically. Yes. So where
are
all these? I guess they're in Middle America and they're not in some, Greenwich Village bar. I don't know.
Okay, you're right. That's actually really interesting. So if you had been somewhere else, perhaps David Muir would have been the one recognized.
But Hugh Edwards is a really big deal. So big, he's the one who broke the news of the passing of Her Majesty to the nation. Okay, I'm laughing about it today.
How many times?
I know.
Many times
I saw
play
you.
this?
I can't be upset because I saw
How
you
many
rehearse.
times did I play this going into this?
Okay, TC's got the audio. We may or may not play it.
Oh my gosh, I can't even. I'm so upset.
Okay, the point is we have the audio and we have the proof.
So good.
And then he anchored the coverage for like 10 straight days. He not only broke the news of Her Majesty's passing, but then he anchored their he's that big of a deal. All right, Michael, get to it already. So
what
why
did
are you
he
talking?
do?
Who is he and what did he do? Here's the BBC coverage. Because why isn't it interesting to see how would the BBC handle a scandal involving one of their own personalities? For 20 years, Hugh Edwards anchored the BBC's flagship News at 10 program, watched by millions each weeknight.
A few moments ago, Buckingham Palace announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. The palace has just issued this statement. It says the Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon.
That's Hugh he is, okay? But now he's been identified as the presenter at the center of allegations about his conduct following 5 days of speculation and mounting claims published across British media, including his colleagues at the BBC. So they've had to cover this story, presumably knowing that it was going to be revealed that it was him. As the BBC's most senior news anchor, he's been a fixture on some of the UK's most historic national moments. 61 years old. As I just told you, he broke the news to the nation of her passing. Here are the allegations. On Friday, the Sun newspaper published a story that said an unidentified presenter for the BBC was accused of paying thousands of pounds to a young person, now 20, over a number of years for explicit photographs. In an interview, the mother of the young person expressed her concern that the payments were being used to fund her child's crack cocaine habit. Over subsequent days, a drip feed of further allegations were published by The Sun, then by the BBC, which reports independently on the BBC as if it were any other organization. On Sunday, the BBC admitted it had received a complaint linked to The Sun's initial allegations 7 weeks before they were pursued by the newspaper, and that it had suspended the male staff member. He's now, by the way, in the hospital, according to his wife, getting mental health treatment. The next day, a lawyer for the young person involved said that the Sun story was rubbish and denied anything criminal had taken place. Can I just add...
Is the issue just her age? In other words, are they saying that he didn't do it, or are they saying she wasn't 17?
Wait, do you know that it's a she? Do you know that it's a she? You know that it's a she.
I thought so.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know.
Now you're making me wonder, but I
don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure because
Okay.
I took notice of that.
So the only thing I guess I would add to all of this, and anybody who paid close attention to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard,
Yes.
you might remember that Depp lost his libel case in London, right? And then comes to the United States, and Court TV, I guess Court TV, True TV, whoever televised it live, many of us got caught up in it. I certainly did. And he was successful in the United States on almost the same case. Why is that the story? The story is because the standards are different. In the UK, the plaintiff has the burden of proof in the United States. And I've been through this a million times, whether it's a negligence standard or whether it's an actual malice standard, depends on whether the person is a private citizen or has a public profile. But the burden is on the defense in the UK in defamation actions to prove the assertion that they made. So it's the total reverse of what we have. And the other difference between when you report on a matter of involving a celebrity is that the Brits tend to err on the side of respecting privacy. They don't have a First Amendment. And our First Amendment is such that we are more understanding, our legal system is, of revelations. I think that's how I would express it. So this story is being, my point is this story is being unspooled in a different legal context than it would be in the United States.
I do not know the gender of the child. I think I was confused because it kept saying the teen's mother.
Right.
And then referring to the teen's mother as she. And I think in my head, I saw that pronoun. So the the gender of the teen has not been identified. The news keeps referring to the teen as they. So we do not know the gender of the teen.
I'm looking at the coverage. CNN says the case, which has dominated the British news this week, emerged when the Sun newspaper reported Friday that a mother had accused an unnamed presenter of paying for sexually explicit photographs from her teenage child.
Yes,
who was 17 when contact was first made and who is 20 now. The case raises some complex legal and privacy questions. Under British law, the age of consent is 16, but it is a crime to take, make, share, or possess indecent images of anyone under 18.
Oh.
But the British officials are saying that there's no crime here.
There's no crime.
There's no crime as of this moment in time. All right, that's the point. Our friends across the pond are embroiled in, this presenter scandal, and that's all that we know about it for now. TC, more headlines now from Smerconish.com, the Thursday edition of the newsletter. What you got?
Well, I have a headline that I'm not going to read the whole thing. I cannot believe you posted this at
How could I not post it?
How could you post this?
Wait. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes,
What's
you
the
do.
story?
You do. It's the F word.
I want you to tell the story.
It is the F word that I refuse to say. Not that F word, the other F word. And this is what I cannot believe this is a headline.
Go ahead.
Of course, it's the New York Post.
Yeah.
Page 6. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. press dinner explodes in war of words and
farkling. That was always the word choice in our house. I'll go with that.
Okay, but that's not the word they wrote. They actually wrote
the
whole word.
I
cannot believe it.
They dropped the F-bomb.
They dropped that F-bomb. Yeah. They sure did. And they described the F-bomb in granular detail.
Now I'm being serious. What happened? I don't get it.
I'm
like a bunch of old codgers and they're farkling at one another?
Yes. That is exactly what happened over climate change. Over climate change.
Their flatulence was adding to our carbon footprint.
Exactly. And at one point, one of the guys yells out, "I'm blanking." And according...
Could have been worse.
Wait a minute. According to page 6, hang on, wait, this is the best part. This is direct quote from the New York Post. Regrettably, we may assure readers that there was no room for doubt that the climate changed in the immediate environs of the dinner table. Page 6 was there. This is a first-hand witness account.
Oh, I know. It's a long story.
It's a very long story.
And it's posted at Smerconish.com.
Yes.
How could it not be? I love the first line. Camelot, it ain't. Page 6 regrets to report that a press dinner to boost Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s presidential campaign devolved into a foul bout of screaming and polemic farkling on Tuesday night. And then it goes on from there.
It goes.
Tony's on the Upper East Side.
It perhaps is worth. It's perhaps worth reading only because I've never.
Oh my God! It's
quite
the best.
read a news story like this before.
Does it make you want to more go to Tony's or less go to Tony's? Like, is Tony's going to be the hot spot now?
Well, the very last line of the story is, by the next day, the stink seemed to have dissipated. So perhaps
they went back, I guess, with some readers. The gaseous exchange to which page 6 bore reluctant witness began after a guest asked Kennedy, founder of the ecological organization Waterkeeper Alliance, about the environment.
So embarrassing.
And it seems that the mere inquiry was enough to set off apparently drunk gossip columnist turned flack Doug Deckert, the host of the event, who became enraged and screamed at the top of his lungs, "The climate hoax." Meanwhile, octogenarian art critic Anthony Hayden Guest, who appeared to have been sleeping happily for most of the dinner.
I've never read anything like this.
Was roused by the abrupt rumpus. Hayden Guest suddenly opened his eyes and denounced his longtime pal Deckert, calling him a miserable blob. "Shut up," implored Hayden Guest. Deckert continued to scream wildly about the climate change scam, while Hayden Guest peppered him with verbal volleys across the table, calling him variously effing insane and insignificant. RFK, meanwhile, a prospective president of the United States, watched calmly on.
Are you going to read the next sentence?
Here, it seems, Deckert sensed the need for a new rhetorical tack and let rip a loud, prolonged farkle while yelling as if to underscore his point, I'm farkling.
Except for that's not what it says.
Right.
You just have to be clear. This is Michael's word.
The room, which included a handful of journalists as well as RFK's campaign manager, former Representative Dennis Kucinich, was stunned, seemingly unsure about whether Deckert was farkling at Hayden Guest personally or at the very notion of global warming.
What was the point? We don't know. Unbelievable.
Only in New York.
Unbelievable. Only on page 6.
By the way, if you're curious, it does say that the candidate maintained a steady composure in the face of the crisis.
Of adversity.
Good to know how RFK Jr. would respond in such a circumstance.
In these key moments.
Dare I ask, how would Donald Trump have reacted in this circumstance? And how would Joe
bet he would
Biden?
have laughed.
You think Trump would have?
I think Trump would have laughed.
How about Biden?
I don't know about Biden. I'm not sure.
Would there have been any one-upsmanship
Just
attempted?
stop. What do you mean attempted? What do you mean attempted? What do you mean, like on command? Is that what you mean?
Why didn't we lead with this story?
What do you
instead of Hugh C?
Because God knows what that thumbnail would have looked like if we had led with that.
Oh, by the way, Deckert told us when asked to comment about his outburst the next day, I apologize for using my flatulence as a medium of public commentary in your presence. He also asked us to refer to him either as a gallivanting boulevardier, is that the word, or beer-fueled sex rocket. Who are these people? I think I'd like to go to the next time they get together.
All I'm saying is wow.
Yeah, what a story. You got to read it. It's at Smerconish.com. And here's the good news. There's no paywall. So go check that out. What else, TC? That caught your eye.
That
what else?
caught my eye. KOMO News out in Washington State. This is ludicrous. Swimming pool installed at Seattle encampment angers neighbors. Well, it's not just any encampment. It would be a homeless encampment that, yes, indeed, evidently has a swimming pool. A sprawling homeless encampment alongside a Seattle freeway has a new addition this summer. Someone installed a swimming pool at the encampment that has been growing for months between SR 509 and Myers Way in the Highland Park neighborhood. Where the pool came from and how it was filled with water is not clear, but neighbors who have been raising safety concerns about the encampment says it is a slap in the face.
Okay. I mean, look, I'm the one who picked the story, so I wanted people to see it. But when you click on the picture, it's like one of those inflatable pools.
What did you think it was going to be?
Well, when I saw the headline, swimming pool installed in Seattle encampment angers neighbors,
right.
I thought, holy crap, they got like a cement pond.
Oh, did you think that? Oh, yeah. I didn't think that. That's interesting. No.
I loved those as a very little kid, you know,
the blow-up ones.
The blow-up ones.
Yeah.
The blow-up ones
Yeah.
were just really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, more.
Yeah.
By the way, the reason they need a pool is that it's getting hot out there. 2 pieces at Smerconish.com today. One about the ocean heat around Florida. CNN is calling it unprecedented, and scientists are warning of major impacts. That there's a marine heat wave going on.
Like 97 degrees in some areas.
The water's so hot that there's coral bleaching and the fish are dying, and it's terrible. And then the extreme heat, CBS News has this report, extreme heat exceeding 110 degrees expected to hit the southwestern United States. Just unbelievably hot weather in Southern California, 112 degrees in Antelope Valley at the end of this week. And in Phoenix, Arizona, temperatures exceeded 110 degrees for the 12th straight day.
The ocean is nearly 100 degrees. And in the flatulence debate, seriously, one of the guys is calling it a hoax. Like, what more do we need to see?
Yeah.
You know, I had the conversation with Michael Mann a couple of days ago.
Yep.
And we released that as a daily podcast. Go listen to it if you want to know what a leading climatologist thinks.
And also from Smerconish.com, this from Kentucky.com. On the heels of you having Nathan Rabb here in the studio to discuss the Lincoln letter, hundreds of Civil War era gold coins found in Kentucky farm. Most insane thing ever. A gold coin treasure trove dating back to the Civil War era was unearthed in Kentucky, and experts say it shines light on life in the 1800s. Called the Great Kentucky Hoard, the trove of more than 800 coins includes 1863 double eagles, silver coins, and hundreds of U.S. gold dollars dating 1850 to 1862. $1 gold coins, $20 gold coins, $10 gold coins, all together likely worth millions of dollars.
When Nathan Rabb, who is a sort of trader of historical artifacts and ephemera, brought in not only a Lincoln letter, but an Einstein letter earlier this
He's amazing.
week. Really, really cool stuff.
He's also a neat guy. Like he
is. He's
talks
great.
about
He
them with such
needs a
fluidity.
radio or TV
Yes.
show of his own.
TV.
It would be fabulous. But I said to him, come on, do people still go to a swap meet or a yard sale and buy a picture for $3 and the Declaration of Independence? He said that stuff happens.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, here's this story
Yeah.
about Civil War era gold coins found in Kentucky. You know what this will do, by the way? This will just fuel for the next 50 years people who are out there in search of the next great find. I know a guy. This is a 20-year-old story, but he was a heavy investor in a dig in the Philippines for Nazi gold.
Oh.
And he showed me videotapes and the search effort and wanted to
Oh,
know,
my
do I want to
goodness.
get involved in this? This could really pay off.
Who
and
then owns
yada,
that?
yada, yada. I presumably my friend who was going to be the investor.
Wow.
He did go all in on
Those
it.
coin collectors, they have the opportunity to purchase individual coins through
Right.
government.com.
Hey, there's a lot of great news at Smerconish. I think, as we've just proven, a lot of great news at Smerconish.com. So please go check out the website. By the way, forward it to a friend that you think would enjoy a balanced news diet. We so appreciate you being here. It is a Thursday. Make sure you are giving TC some play with TC After Dark.
That's right. Joel Faliano, the writer of the mini crossword puzzle in the New York Times. Phenomenal interview.
And thank you so much for watching. See ya.